It's the fact that we never know whether we're going to survive or not. Even given all the resources, we don't know. Given too few resources, well, if they're literally too few and you die, but what if they're just too few so that you're constantly hungry and you're impoverished? Well, we know humans can live in that situation. So when is survival objectively the issue? Only in special cases. So for example, let's say that you and your neighbor live out in the woods alone, basically. Just you two houses. And you each have water and you have a well. His well runs dry. Okay, and then what he's proposed to you is that you share half of your water with his family. Comfort starts to become related to survival. Okay, because we can't tell the difference. Now, if you cut your water usage in half, is that a threat to your survival or not? Well, it depends on how much water you use. Are you using 10 times the water you need, and you're rinsing your tennis court and filling your pool, and then no, it's not going to be a threat to survival. You still might feel it somewhat as a threat of survival, because comfort is survival past the mere survival point. Right? Having 10 times of a resource is a great security. Having a roof over your head is a great security. If you lose that roof, there's a good chance that it won't threaten your survival. You'll go stay with someone you know, or you'll survive even if you were sleeping in your car or out under the trees, but maybe not. Okay, so it's a threat to your survival, but how much of a threat? Well, a bullet flying through the air towards you is a bigger threat to your survival than, sharing half your water. Even if you already were using just the right amount of water and you're going to have to ration. So comfort is related to survival, because when we jack up our comfort level, yeah, we're paying attention to this petty comforts that we feel as a soft bed. But why does this appeal to us? And it's the relationship they have to survival. And this is a difficult question in conflicts, is when an attitude towards your resources, a comfortable attitude, an attitude where you want comfort, is related to your basic survival. And even when they're not, we feel that link, because in abundance comes a very secure survival. You never know, because we're talking about the future. You don't know if you're going to survive. So you're always making guesses about whether there's a real conflict of survival or not. And basically, the advice is to, one, keep an even head, two, be relativist and realize that there are truths contrary to the truths that have validity, at least some validity, and have an enlightened attitude. You need to get as much information as possible, right? So in the world of human affairs, enlightenment means shedding light. Now, some people might mean enlightenment is getting really well versed in the dogma of their religion. Fine, but they're using the word enlightenment that other religions use. What are they communicating? And it's all in the metaphor behind the word enlightenment. It's to shed light on things, to get more information. And what is light in that metaphor? It's perceptions, any perception. That's the light of enlightenment, any perceptions. You have to pay attention to your experiences, and that makes you more enlightened. If you paid attention, now if you just closed your eyes and walked through that experience, then you cut some of that experience off from you. Even if you looked literally with your eyes, but you blanked it from your mind and refused to learn from what you had seen, then that would not be enlightenment, even though you'd had those experiences. But the enlightened are, those that can see, have seen more, and those who know how to shed light so that they can see more. In a social or political context, this is about people and interrelationships with people. And in that case, enlightenment, okay, you have 100 people. They all have a view on some subject, and you don't know any of them. Well, then you're not enlightened. You're ignorant of that. If you learn one of their opinions, you're more enlightened than you were when you were totally ignorant. But if you learn 2 or 5 or 10, then you will still be more enlightened about what these people think. Not necessarily about the truth, right? Because that depends on whether they know the facts of the situation compared to you knowing the facts of the situation. But being enlightened about what's going on, what the conflicts or issues that these people might have. To be enlightened, you would have to learn the opinions of all of them. To be fully enlightened would be impossible, because you would have to know everything that all of those people are thinking, including the things even they don't know they're thinking. Unconscious reactions to their childhood and so on and so forth. But the more you could know, the more enlightened you would be. And that helps resolve conflicts.